And we're back with a new video today. I just wanted to address some anger, some feelings of hurt after one of the videos I did recently, which was on the gentleman's Demon 170 that after 815 miles decided to grenade itself and ended up in the shop and has now been in the shop for 6 months with no resolution. A new motor is needed in that Demon 170, and no one's disputing that. Even Dodge is not disputing that, but they are sharing with him that there is no possible way of getting an engine now or anytime soon for that matter, because they don't have them. And for whatever reason, Dodge doesn't have engines to fulfill warranty obligations. I don't know. What I do know is that my objective in that video, and I believe TK is going to do a video, Butter has been working tirelessly in the background with his connections with Dodge to try to help this gentleman. But the fact that they can't deliver on a warranted item and a already well-documented problem with the Demon 170s, despite the Demon 170 owners, flippers, investors being really angry about videos like mine, TK's and Butters, is astonishing. Because you think the simplest thing for a manufacturer to deliver on should be the warranty. You buy a car, and a big part of you paying top dollar for a new car versus just saving money and buying a used car is that that new car comes with a fresh warranty and perceived reliability because it is new. And then if that doesn't happen, then you at least feel like, well, if it breaks, it'll be in the shop, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, and it'll get fixed. One thing we never account for when we buy new cars, even high-performance cars, is that they're going to completely grenade themselves. I've owned plenty of high-end, very high-performance automobiles in my lifetime, and the engines did not blow up. In my Mercedes CL55 AMG, which was MSRP of $125,000. After just about 4,000 or 5,000 miles, the supercharger went out, and that was $10,500. Covered in a warranty, the car was back on the road in less than 7 days. 7 business days, but it was back on the road. Seems logical. But when you buy a Demon 170 for, let's say, just over $100,000, if you got it from MSRP, that's still a lot of money, especially for a Dodge. But Brad, it's a high-performance race car, and those things are going to have problems. Cool. Then explain that to us. Nowhere in that multiple-page disclaimer and disclosure and release that they have people sign does it say, there's a strong chance if you drive this car to Trader Joe's to pick up some soy milk that your car is going to grenade itself. Because that's pretty much what this guy did. He said he did jump on it a few times and did enjoy the car, but at 815 miles for it to implode is not acceptable. But it happens. So I'm willing to say, hey, look, things happen. Dodge took a big leap in delivering a car with pretty massive performance, pretty history-making performance, that there's likely to be some problems. But then what we didn't expect, I guess maybe some expected, and certainly I expected it, and I called it out in my videos, was that the flippers and investors, including the dealership owners, would hoard these cars, would line up to buy these cars at sometimes MSRP, lower markups, or just simply keep them in their inventories if they're a dealer, to be able to turn around and flip them later. And I'll show you what I mean here before I get into the salty, using TK's words, Demon 170 owners, and where this is going, and that my reason for doing these videos is not what some of them saying here to make a bunch of money. I want to show you real quick here how much I made on that video. Let me show you. The man asked for help, and if there's a way my channel can help, cool. If it can't, at least I tried. That's the way I look at it. Here's my revenue off of this video, the Demon 170 Nightmare video. And I'll show you the comments where these guys are like, it's all about clicks and views. All right, well, if anybody knows me at all, been watching this channel a little while, knows that 99.99999% of my annual income comes from my day job. And a tiny percent, let's say less than 3 or 4%, so maybe I'm exaggerating with the 99.999, maybe 3 or 4% of my annual income will come from YouTube. I enjoy doing it. I consider it a challenge, and I feel like it's become a calling to assist and help people to avoid getting screwed in this universe, while also sharing news and my insight after 30 years in business and owning over 100 cars. I think it's turned into a little thing. But here's the revenue. So 11,400 views. And this was simply an interview where the man shared. I didn't give my opinion. I mean, maybe a little bit, but the man shared his story. This is what I've made since that video posted. And views always drop off after a period, and they've pretty much dropped off at this point, settling in around 11,400. It may make it to 12,000 views in the next 2 months, but that's where it's going to sit. It's definitely gotten attention. Dodge knows about it, and TK and Butter are actively supporting what we're doing here to try to help this man. But I made $82. So I just want to make the point that, no, I would say it's not all about just clicks and revenue. All my videos combined aren't going to change my life financially at all. It's just become kind of a fun, challenging, small business for me to have with some cool tax benefits and perks that I enjoy, but I can live without it. Let me show you the flippers that I was talking about. So on these groups, I would say go join them. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, then you don't have to even watch my channel and the perceived negativity that might come from it sometimes. But there are Demon 170s being posted for sale every day. Here's one, $145,000. So you want a Demon 170 with 800 miles. Now, assuming that it's got 15 more miles till the engine grenades itself, at least you can enjoy it for 15 miles. That's a joke. I'm kidding. But there's a $145,000 price tag put on that car. That is insanely low compared to what so many of these others have asked and want. Here's another one, $139,900 on eBay, alloy wheels, no sunroof, 15 miles, Tallahassee, Florida. Now, I would tell you all, be careful. Never send deposits. Never send money over to anybody until you're standing physically in front of the car and have a legitimate pink slip, because there are fraudsters out there. But this thing's been posted since March 19th. If it was a fraudster, I can tell you that it would probably have been deleted by now and exposed, and it hasn't been. But then we look at the folks that are pushing these Demon 170 prices really hard, which is the flippers. They are struggling right now. They are stressing out like you wouldn't believe, and terrified that they've missed the window to be able to flip those cars and make lots of money. They are really upset about it because they are posting every anomalous, massive price that goes down at Mecum or these auctions where they are not something the rest of us, if we're selling a car, are likely going to find and experience. Otherwise, these guys over here would be doing that. And it's very expensive to do this. But he's, of course, calling out these humongous prices. And as of back in January, I don't think that's going to happen. So let's look at this. This is the flipper. So Douglas here, who says this is a dealer-to-dealer sale, so warranty would still be in place. But these guys conspired, colluded to buy 5 demons as dealers and sit on these demons in hopes that they're going to cash in a huge way. And they're asking pretty big prices, $185. It's, it wasn't horrible a year ago, but today, probably not that great. So $180, $160, $155, $165. And you can see the comments where some of the folks are calling him out for asking way too much money. But that's the flippers, and I'm not judging him. The guy wants to make money. He bought all these cars. The problem is every one of these cars have no miles on them. So we don't know which of these cars are going to have engine problems. And that's the problem with the Demon 170s. And I'm not bashing the Demon 170, and I'm not trying to drop values to benefit myself. I'm sharing just the stories and the facts and what's taking place out there in the world. And but some of these have problems. But so many of these have been bought by investors and been sitting for so long that no one will know. No one will know which ones will have the issues for many, many years. So that's a problem. But now let's go to the forum, and I'll wrap this video up. So this guy puts about my video. Once again, the Three Stooges of YouTube prove they have zero pull with Stellantis. Well, I'll tell you, like this guy says, I don't think the issue is their pull, but another Demon 170 trashes an engine, and the guy has been waiting 6 months with a broken car and no help in sight. I was simply trying to help him. The suspicion I have here is that if a car blows its engine and other people's cars blow their engines, and the manufacturer didn't expect this to be that big of a problem, that they rapidly got overwhelmed with a need for these engines to do replacements. That would tell me or indicate that there's a lot more that never make it to YouTube, that never make it to Instagram, never make it to the forums, that these things have blown. And this is nice. The guy says, OC Motivator did an interview with an owner who lost his engine 815 miles. And that's when the comments start getting entertaining. This guy writes, serves him right for actually driving the thing instead of storing it in his garage for all eternity. Boom. What's OC Motivator? No worries, dude. Not important. Here's the Three Stooges comment. And then the just perpetuation of some more insanity. I'm selling mine, getting a Honda. This guy writes, at least you'll be able to get parts for it. I wonder at this point, considering the cost, even add or blow sticker on these cars now, if it wouldn't be worth it to have the engine pulled and gone over just for peace of mind. Certainly. How about this? This guy who called us the Three Stooges says, if my oil samples ever indicate something is up with the original engine, it will become a coffee table for the decanter set. The aftermarket is full of good stuff to take its place, worry-free. He thinks he's going to have an issue with his car. Of course, the comments continue to be comedic at best, but they are defending me as well, saying, watch the video he posts, the repair order, interviews the owner. So yes, it's true. But the biggest point I wanted to make here, just for everybody to know what's going on, is I'm not trying to trash the Demon 170 or bring values down so that we can buy them. I can buy one myself. So it says Ron Silva, we know who he is, been waiting for October for his replacement engine. How's it getting groceries in your 170? I don't know one. How about this? The 2018 Demons are making over 2,000 passes without a hitch. This guy says when the Tesla causes fires, threads and discussions began, TeslaFire.com website, and they start bashing the Tesla. Here's the difference, okay? 90% of the Teslas didn't get stuck in garages as speculator or flipper cars. They were driven. So there's way more Teslas being driven on the road to be able to get a good feel for the likelihood of those things catching on fire, which is minimal. He says it here. But to say that this is a similar situation, it's not. When let's just say even 10% of those things might actually be getting miles put on them, to know which ones actually have problems, we won't know until they start getting driven. Here's the accusation. A little T of its influencers pushing it so they can get connections and cars themselves, full stop. And this is Butter, who makes it clear that he doesn't get anything. He got a Demon 170 allocation after getting screwed out of many Demon 170 allocations. So, maybe there's some benefits to doing this. I've never had a problem with YouTubers who are promoting a brand getting an opportunity. I have no problem with that. I mean, I think in the end I benefited from it as well. So I'm not going to lie and tell you all that I think it's wrong. In the end, if you look at the real virtue reasoning, even after I got taken care of and they made good on my Hellcat screw-over situation, my non-California car, and got the Demon and everything else, it turned out just not make any sense. And Dad dying and everything else, I had to shift gears on that, no pun intended. But if you look at just Butter the Insider and myself, even though they took care of us, we've still not held back any punches when it comes to Dodge, and shared everything negative and positive without any restraint. So if we're trying to get, I'll tell you right now, none of us are probably getting any big benefits at this point. How about this? Here it is. I don't care what any of them say. Controversy equals watches, likes, which equals money opportunity. Yep, $82. Whatever. So in the end, others are saying we do a great service for the community. The links to the paid sponsors might be helpful to some. I don't know. That's a shot at us. I don't have any sponsors. I've never taken one. Not opposed to it, but I've not found a sponsor that I like and I believe in to be promoting. Over the years, I've like maybe one or two here and there, rarely, but you don't see any sponsors on my channel. So with that, everybody, I just had to share that this is what's going on. People are mad. People are upset. But just know, I'm not here to bash the Demon 170 at all. I'm here to help educate and inform and help people understand that if you're going to go spend $100 plus $200,000, whatever it is, $150,000 on these things, know what you're getting into and know you're probably going to have a problem. And if your engine blows, it might be 6 months before you get a new one, or longer, as we're finding out with my connection here with this gentleman who's now 6 months with no end in sight waiting for his engine. That's just the reality. It's not us being negative. So with that, everybody, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please share this video, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.